Today for Concept 5, we're going to be talking about multiplying polynomials some more. This time we're going to do binomials with trinomials. So that means we are going to be multiplying 2 terms by 3 terms. All right? So the thing you got to remember is distribution will always work. Okay, no matter what it looks like, no matter how many terms, distribution will always work. So let's take a look at that first. So if this works for you, then great. This is a super simple method that will always work. We are going to take the first term and we are going to distribute that term to everything in the second polynomial. Okay, and when we distribute, we multiply. So 5 times 5 is 25. K times k squared is k cubed. 5 times positive 1 is positive 5. K times k is k squared. 5 times positive 1 is positive 5. K times nothing is k. All right, so that takes care of the first part. Now we're going to take the second part and we're going to distribute this part to all 3 parts of the trinomial. So negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. And then we have a k squared that's just going to come along. Negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2, and the k stays attached. Negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2. So we've done the multiplication. We've done all the distributing. Now we're going to look for like terms. So we have our cubed term, and there is no other cubed. We have our squared term, and oh, here's another squared. And then we have our regular k term. There's another k term. And then our negative 2 doesn't have anything like terms, so it's by itself. And it will usually work out that way, where whatever is first and whatever is last probably won't combine with anything else. If it does, no big deal. So we've got 25k cubed plus positive 5 and negative 10 gives me, oops, not plus, negative 5. And those are my k squared terms. And then positive 5 and negative 2 gives me positive 3, and those are my k terms, and negative 2. So 25k cubed minus 5k squared plus 3k minus 2 is the final answer. That's my final polynomial for when I multiply 5k minus 2 times this trinomial. Now, if that way confuses you, then remember we can always take a look at the box method. And this time I'm going to have 2 by 3. So 2 boxes high by 3 boxes wide. And I'm just going to go through and multiply each part. So 5 and 5 is 25. K and k squared is k cubed, and that goes here. Now I'll multiply these 2 together, and it's going to go in this box. So 5 times positive 1 is positive 5. K times k is k squared. Now multiply these 2 together, and it's going to go here. 5 times 1 is positive 5. And the k isn't being multiplied by anything, so it stays k. Now I'm going to multiply these 2 and put the answer here. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. K squared times there isn't anything just stays k squared. So now these 2 go here. Negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2. And k times nothing is just k. And then negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2. Now when you're looking for like terms, remember that your first term and your last term, those far corners, are going to not have any like terms. But then anything that has a diagonal will have like terms. So we're going to look on the diagonals for like terms if we use the box method. So we're going to start with 25k cubed. Now we're going to combine these 2. So negative 10 and positive 5 gives me negative 5, and those are my k squared terms. Now we're going to combine these 2. Negative 2 and positive 5 is positive 3, and those are my k terms. And now my negative 2 is all alone, so that tacks on at the end. So you see, either method will get you the same answer. So pick a method that works for you and stick with it. Let's take a look at a couple more examples. Let's do 57. Here we have n minus 5. I'm going to do the distribution method first. So I'm going to take my n and distribute it to all 3 parts. So I have 7 times 1 is just 7. N times n2, or sorry, n times, 1 times 7 is 7. N times n squared is n cubed. Now n times, or 1, because remember there's a 1 here. I keep forgetting to say that, so I'll write it in. 1 times negative 8 is negative 8. N times n is n squared. 1 times positive 8 is positive 8. And n times, there's nothing there, is just n. So that takes care of my first term. Now my second term, and I'm going to keep that sign attached. So negative 5 times negative 7 is negative 35. And no variable times n squared is n squared. Negative 5 times negative 8 is positive 40. And no variable times n is just n. Negative 5 times positive 8 is negative 40. And there is no variable on either of those terms, so I'm good to go. Now I'm going to start looking for some like terms. I have a cube term here. No more cube terms. Remember, you can just go left to right. Squared term, squared term. Just keep your signs attached. N and n. And then last but not least, my constant doesn't have anything to be combined with. So here we go. 7n cubed. I have a negative 8. Negative 35 gives me negative 43. And those are my n squared terms. Combine them together. Then I have positive 8 and positive 40 gives me positive 48. And those are my n terms. Combine them together. And then negative 40 is all by itself. So there we go. Now let's try one using the box method. So we're going to have a 2 by 3. So 7x minus 2 goes on the side, 3x squared, positive 8x, and negative 1 goes across the top. So 7 times 3 is 21, x times x squared is x cubed. 7 times positive 8 is positive 56, x times x is x squared. 7 times negative 1 is negative 7, and x times no variable is just x. Now for my second row. I'm going to do negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, and my x squared is coming along. My negative 2 times positive 8 gives me negative 16, and there's no variable times the x, so it just comes along. And negative 2 times negative 1 gives me positive 2. Now we're going to look for some like terms. I know that my first one and my last one won't have any like terms, but these on the diagonal will have like terms. So let's see, I'm going to start with here, 21x cubed, done. These I'm going to combine. So negative 6 and positive 56 gives me positive 50, and those are my x squared terms. Then I have negative 16 and negative 7 gives me negative 23, and those are my x terms. And then positive 2 doesn't combine with anything, so that goes down at the end. So that's all we have for that one. Why don't you take a look at number 59 and 60. Solve them on your own and come back to see if you can get the right answers. How'd you do? This is the answer that you should have had for 59, and this is the answer that you should have had for 60. Now, if you got those and you feel pretty comfortable, go ahead and finish the rest of the page on your own. If you still feel kind of shaky and you want to see a few more examples, take a look at part 2, where I will do the next few problems with you.